agent, brokered by eXp Realty, and owner of the Empire Realty Group.
And we are Sisters in Real Estate.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. We are on and we are live for another episode of Sisters in Real Estate. I'm LaShonda, the realtor.
And I am Nikita Jacobs, your home and loan girl, and we are the Sisters in Real Estate. Listen, every episode is an excitement for me because we get to really talk about things that we love and that we love to share with everyone. And so we have special guests coming on board today, Dr. Sherman. Thank you so much for coming and joining us. She's going to be talking about some wonderful things with therapy, so just stay tuned to that. But we have, as we usually do, we're going to talk about what? Our market stats, okay? The market is heating up, baby, okay? Is it not heating up, Shonda? If I had the little flames, I'll do a little flame for y'all because it's heating up.
Baby, people don't understand. They don't take it serious when we talk about the market and what's going on in the market, and they don't believe us. And they'll say, "Oh, I'll just wait till the rates go down. Oh, I'll wait until this and that." I'm like, okay.
The market crash.
Go ahead and wait.
Things happen. But, procrastination is our enemy. You know what I mean? We will procrastinate and we will think things are going to always be better later. Mm-hmm. And that's not always the case. So sometimes, people that understands real estate in the market, they understand like, hey, when we say buy. Buy now. Buy now.
In the store. Hurry up and buy. Hurry
up and buy. Okay. It's important. Like, it's so important for people to understand that there are more people now in the market to buy.
Yeah.
This is the time and the season that everybody is looking to buy. It's what, spring, summertime coming up, heating up. That's when the market becomes more competitive with the buyers. There are more buyers out there. So that means there's going to be a little bit more competitive for other buyers. Right now, you still can negotiate. So if you are looking to buy a home, let's go ahead and get you pre-approved and get you on your way to start looking for your home. So that way you're not in a market where you're being outbidded or priced out because you've waited too long. There are areas now in Frisco that are still doing bids, like they are bidding over asking price.
Arlington.
Yes, Arlington too. So it depends on price point, guys. But this is why it's so important to have a real estate agent. I know there's so many cliches about real estate agents, but if you get the right real estate agent, they're going to educate you properly on what it is that you need to do to get your house. And it's important to take advice from an expert and stop listening to Mama Joe and them, okay?
Right.
I'm just telling the truth, okay? Everybody be like, "Oh, but I talked to my cousin and they said this." Like, please don't tell me that. It's just so disrespectful. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously.
And don't get caught up or don't fall for the when you go to new construction, because this is a time where a lot of people are just, "Oh, we don't have anything to do. We've been toying around with buying. Let's just go drive around and see what we can see." And then by the time you leave, you've signed a contract, but you didn't have any representation. These builders have incentives that they can give you, but you don't ask, they're not going to tell. So if you have an expert with you or a professional with you that is there for you, they're able to ask those questions and they're able to help you decide what's best for you. Because yes, you walk into those model homes, they look amazing. They upgrade those houses to make you say, "Okay, this is it." That don't mean that's how your house is going to look, but don't go in there signing a contract and you haven't even viewed, or you don't even know what all of your options are.
Yes.
So as this market is heating up, builders are still giving incentives. Sellers are still kind of in a negotiation. They're still giving concessions. Just don't go do it by yourself. It does not cost you anything as a buyer to use a realtor. I had a client the other day say, "Oh yeah, the builder said I could save 6% if I don't use a realtor." What? I said, "No, you can save that builder 6% if you don't use a realtor."
Price is the price, boo.
Right. The price is the price. You and as your realtor, I'm gonna negotiate and try to get everything I can. I'm gonna have those conversations with the sales rep to say, "Okay, what are you offering my buyer right now?" And they're gonna throw everything in addition to the kitchen sink saying, oh yeah, we can make it work. We can make anything work. But if you go in there, oh, I'm just looking to buy a house and oh, well, here's what we have and it's ready now. We can close in 30 days. Really? And then hook, line, and sinker. You're done. There's nothing else you can do, but you didn't know that you could have got your closing costs paid for, or your interest rate bought down, or the upgraded tile on the floor, or whatever. So there's different things and reasons why you need representation, so that you're very well educated and you get the best bang for your buck. So.
And something to add to that also, you can negotiate with the builder when it comes to price. There's all types of things that you can do, but even on the lending side, they always say, hey, you have to use my preferred lender. Well, you know what? I have one of my realtor partners who did a phenomenal job with negotiating that and was able, they used me. The builder gives incentive off top, right? And then maybe sometimes their preferred lender may give a little extra. But what about what the builder is giving? They still should be able to accommodate the client into giving them that incentive that they're giving, right? Sure. And so I think that that's important too when you have partners that you're working with, to make sure that you're negotiating on behalf of, what's the best interest of the client. Just because that's the preferred lender of the builder don't mean that's the best interest of the client, okay?
Right.
But that's good information. We're fired up though. We are extremely fired up about the market. Things are looking good. People are buying in spite of. Stop worrying about the interest rates. There is ways around those things. As long as you can afford the home. The whole purpose of my job is to make sure that I'm checking for your affordability of that home. And you need to know, as we talked about with Miss Rita, that you need to be knowing your budget as well. You need to know where your money is going, how much you can really spend. And that's what you need to determine. Because again, as the lender, I'm going to give you the max of what you can really do. And it's going to be above. I'm not counting your electricity bill, your cell phone bill, or any of those things. You know the bills that you have, right? So my job is just to make sure I can help you get the home that you're looking for. Not get the home, but get the loan that you're looking for. And then go from there. Okay.
So if you didn't catch the episode with Miss Rita, our budgeting lady, you definitely got to go back and look at that episode. That was episode 5, where she definitely dropped some gems on, how you can start budgeting and planning for things like this. But without further ado, let's introduce our special guest, Mrs. Sherman, Dr. Sherman. She's going to help us figure out all this mental stuff, or give us some tips on how we can get our whole life together.
Yes, founder, CEO of Intimate Altar Wellness. I want to give my little story and my testimonial real quick to Dr. Sherman. I went to Dr. Sherman and I had all types of broken pieces, okay? And Dr. Sherman gave me tools and techniques to help me pull myself back together. And when I tell you, she was so patient with me throughout the process. This is her God-given purpose. This is what God has sent her for. And I'm so thankful for her and Intimate Altar Wellness for letting me come in and really just laying all my stuff out there on the table. So without further ado, Dr. Sherman, please introduce yourself. Tell us about you. Tell us about Intimate Altar Wellness. Just give us whatever it is that God has laid on your heart.
Awesome. Well, thank you, LaShonda, and thank you, Nikita, for having me on Sisters in Real Estate. I actually slid my phone over here when y'all were talking to take I jotted down some notes because y'all was laying it out.
We gotta help you.
The biggest thing that I did when I took notes was I intertwined mental health wellness to what you're doing. So there's a couple of things that you said that I'd like to share here in a second. But to all of those who are listening, I am Dr. Marisha Sherman. I am founder of Intimate Altar Wellness. We offer underserved and underrepresented women mental health wellness sessions at no cost. We have no fees associated with it. We are donation-based. So we ask everyone that comes in to please consider donating for their sessions and for the value that they receive at the center. We have a program that is at no cost that runs for about 6 to 9 months, depending on our guests, or as we like, we don't like to call them clients. You're our guest, right? You're at home when you come to Intimate Altar Wellness. It is a very safe space. And we are trying to debunk the myths around mental health wellness. So we kind of make it kind of spa-like. It's your 45 to 60 minutes of me time. And one of the first things we say when you come to the center is, what are the first two letters in the word mental?
M-E.
And it spells exactly. So we're going to talk about all the other triggers and traumas and who did what and why they did it. But at the end of the day, we're going to focus on you. Mental circle me. So thank you for having me. I'm always excited about mental health. And the reason I am is one of the things that you just said about real estate. And one of the things that you guys just said was the price is the price. And if we do not go on a wellness journey when it comes to our mental health, guess what? The price is going to be the price. It comes at a heavy cost of us not having right peace of mind. It comes at a heavy cost of us not being peaceful in our relationships, the entrepreneurial journeys that we go on, our family dynamics. It's a heavy cost. And that price is the price. There's no way around it. The price is that we lose genuine, authentic relationships and opportunities to expand when we do not take ourselves and our mental health wellness journey seriously.
Yes.
Another thing that I love what y'all are doing with real estate that we can tie it into is that you're not only assisting people to get their loans, but this podcast is allowing people to get an understanding. One of my favorite scriptures is, in all you're getting, get an understanding.
Yes.
The same way that you ladies said, we cannot take advice from mama and them, and your cousin said, when it comes to real estate, is the same thing that we get to apply when it comes to mental health wellness. What mama and them did, as we can see, did not help. What our cousins and aunts did when it comes to mental health wellness did not help. Why am I saying that? Come on, Dr. Sherman, give us proof. I will bring this home. If I counted to 3 right now with just the 3 of us on the line, and I said I want all the 2s or the 3s to stand up, and I said 1 sit down, 2 and 3 stand up, 1 sit down, 2 and 3 stand up, and we did that across the room, that would show the statistics of how many women are suffering from anxiety and depression. The room would be full. Let's bring it closer to home. You ladies started talking about Arlington and Tarrant County and Fort Worth and what's on and popping. And I want to tell you that Tarrant County pre-COVID, had about a 17.9% of women suffering from depression and anxiety. We are post-COVID, so you can imagine that those numbers have skyrocketed right here in our local communities. So we have to get an understanding of mental health wellness. And we've done okay the last decade, but right now mental health wellness is on and popping. Why? Because people are finally deciding that I don't want the price, Dr. Sherman. The price has been hefty.
Yes.
Carry. We've lost relationships. We have had to go on a whole lots of medication. Right? For things that could have been resolved with understanding great therapeutic communication, with understanding emotional intelligence. So our goal at Intimate Altar Wellness is not just for you to come and sit on the couch. We do a lot of that too, right? So you can have a good time. But it is for you to gain an understanding of, in the mental health world, we have 8 dimensions that we kind of flow through, right? And we talk to everybody. We talk about mental health wellness standpoint from financial dimensions, because when our money is funny, we are not well. Talk about it from a occupational and intellectual dimension. Why? We're frustrated when we're not operating in purpose. Okay? So it's just all these little pockets of mental health wellness that we touch, because you're not just one dimension. You've got all these multifaceted things that are causing me not to feel well, including our environment. People come and they say, oh, Dr. Sherman, yeah, I'm going to get to it. It's my environmental. And I tell them the word environmental. Mental is actually written in the word environmental, which means that your environment matters. So we have to touch on all of those dimensions when it comes to mental health wellness. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. There's one more thing that you guys said, you beautiful lady said, that I want to touch on. You said have representation when it comes to your journey in real estate. Don't walk into this thing blind. Yeah. Don't walk into it cold. I don't need a therapist. I just need prayer and I'll get through this. And oh my goodness. Even God is like, have some reputation, have some understanding, have some knowledge and understanding. Have representation for why you're saying what you're saying. Have representation for spoke with a counselor. Here is where I'm at. Me and a counselor are dialoguing. We're trying to go through life without communicating. And that's a huge issue. And I gotta put this out there, especially in African American communities.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. That is so true.
It's very huge. I understand and I get where that comes from. A long, storied history of why African Americans do not trust people. But at some point, for change to happen, when we get to the dead end, we either got to take a left or a right. We got to choose a pathway. Choose ye this day who you're going to serve, who you're going to come to a resolve on some issues. And when it comes to mental health wellness, we've got to come to a resolve that we need help. And guess what? That's okay.
Yeah, that's true.
It's okay. I know we have a few minutes left. I am open to any Q&A. And before we start the Q&A, I'll go ahead and say that Intimate Altar can be reached at intimatealtar.org. That's INTIMATE. Altar, ALTAR. That's interesting, Dr. Sherman. I'm glad you asked. I'll tell you why.
Love it.
It means personal, and altar is all about sacrifice. And we are almost provoking women to take a personal sacrifice for your own wellness.
Yes.
Mental circle me. Take some time. We take time for everything else.
Yeah.
Take some time. But we can be, you can email me as well. That's Dr. Sherman, Dr. Sherman at intimatealtar.org. You can call us, 817-809-6622. And we only take appointments. We only take sessions by appointment only. This is not a center where everybody can kind of rush in and flood. We're really trying to make this be a safe space, a small, intimate space. So you must come by appointment only. Okay, you got to come through the right door and the right pathway. Intimatealtar.org. You can just come and click booking. And get on the list. We give you a call. We kind of do a little intake. Am I going to ask you all about medications? Nope. We're a wellness center. I'm just going to ask you, where are you? Let's talk about it. I usually start with a self-care assessment, and we go from there.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much, Dr. Sherman, for that. That in itself, I'm sure it helped so many people. It's helped me in just the few minutes you were talking. And just to kind of touch on what you were saying when we were talking about representation, I think our culture is so quick to have representation over the bad things versus the good things. So, there'll be receipts. They'll keep receipts on, the negative stuff. But what about keeping receipts on what helped you get through whatever it was, or what helped you calm down, or what helped you, figure out what was going on over there? Like it's so easy for people to keep receipts or have representation of that negative or, bad thing versus, a receipt or a representation of what made us feel good when we did, X, Y, and Z. So I love that. I love how you correlated that.
Well, LaShonda, the stigma is for African American communities is you don't take our business out of the house.
Right.
And everything is kind of brushing under the rug.
Mm-hmm.
But the purpose of a rug was not meant to be lumpy.
Mm-hmm.
You trip and you fall if you put stuff under a rug.
Mm-hmm.
The purpose of a rug is to lay flat, correct?
Mm-hmm.
But if you continue to brush things up under the rug starts getting a lump, it gets lumpy. You walk in and you fall flat on your face. And that is what has happened with us brushing things under the rug, not discussing them, not talking about them, is that we have fallen flat on our face because we are not having these conversations.
Right.
And so we are truly trying to debunk this. Let's talk about it. And it's okay. It's okay to come and talk about it. And if people don't want to talk about it as a whole, mental, me, right? Take care of me. All of us want to be a better version of ourselves than we were yesterday. All of us want to be a better mom, a better wife, a better friend, a better daughter, a better sister. And the way that we can do that is, people ask me all the time, how can I help my family? And the answer is the best thing is to be the healthiest version of you.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
It's so true. And one of the things I learned, I went to when I went there, when you're in a place of shamefulness, you know what I mean? You don't want nobody to know what's going on, you know what I mean? And so, but you have to come out of that and at least talk to somebody. And so once I came out of that, I will say I want to scream to the mountaintop so other people can be in that space where they can be healed from some of the things that they were going through, or some of the things that they felt like, okay, this is the end of the world. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not who I'm this other person, I'm that person, but now I have a better outlook. It's nothing to be shameful about. You know what I mean? You don't have to be ashamed about the trials and tribulations or the traumas and the things like that you've gone through. Those are not who you are. And so I love you, Dr. Sherman. Listen.
Oh, thank you.
I sing your praises to everyone. Anybody that I'm talking to that's going through anything, I'm like, listen, let me sing you intimate awesome.
I'm Dr. Sherman.
I appreciate that. I
know you can do it, okay?
Now, Dr. Sherman, are you connected with any other organizations for men? Because that's huge too. If
my gosh. So LaShonda, I get that question asked so much from our guests that come to Intimate Altar. Is there something like this for men? When I'm out in the communities and different events, and is there a reputation of this for men? I do have some different organizations that are launching. So I don't necessarily want to say their information now until they actually say their information. But I'm excited about it, though. I'm excited that men are choosing to come together with mentorship groups, and they are choosing to say, hey, it's a lot out there for women. Because as you ladies know, it's a women's conference every 2 days. A women's seminar is something that's going on because women are being more vocal. We like to talk and we like to discuss. As we know, history shows us that men may not necessarily do that, but times are changing. Men are becoming more embracing that, hey, let's talk about this. And let's talk about real issues. I think that's phenomenal. I think that it is a tremendous, and I applaud male leadership for saying that, hey, let's be a different type of generation. That's right. Let's be a different type of male leadership than we've seen in the past. And that speaks to evolving and growth.
That's good. Yeah, because a lot of people they think because they want to be, or they want to have a life like granny and grandpa had, or mom and dad, or aunt and uncle. And it's like times are not like that anymore, where dad was the only one working and mom is at home. Now moms are working. Moms are, moms, and it's not the same. So we can't have that same dynamic all the time. But it's a hard conversation or translation to get that other side to understand. It becomes like this when it doesn't have to be. So I think that's awesome, and I can't wait to hear about it.
It's a hard conversation to have when it's something that we don't want to sacrifice for.
Mhm.
We're not having hard conversations about technology. Nobody wants to go back to the days where there were no microwaves.
Right. Mhm.
Nobody wants to go back to the
Mhm.
days
Mhm.
where we actually had to physically go to the bank to shift money.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to. So we pick and choose
Yeah.
what we say, what we want to evolve with. And
Mhm.
so, this is
That's
challenging
good.
to move forward. No, it isn't. It's
Mhm.
just all about coming to a resolve and a sacrifice on what we truly want to move forward
Yeah.
with. We don't have any issue. Nobody wants to go back to the days where
Mhm.
we couldn't order our food at curbside and I don't have to go in. And do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it depends on what the circumstance is. People want to say, oh, well, this should just stay like this. Absolutely. Well, we're not staying to where nobody wants to have to take a train everywhere that they go,
Mhm.
right? They
Mhm.
want to get on the plane, close their eyes, wake up, boom, I'm there. So when it comes to mental health wellness, why are we saying that, oh, we just need to keep some things like it's always been?
Right. Yep.
It's just we're just not willing to have the hard conversations.
Mhm.
Right. It hurts. Some
Yeah.
things that we have to talk about in mental health wellness hurts.
Mhm.
But the quicker we talk about it,
Mhm.
the sooner we can start healing.
That's true. That's
If,
true.
if I don't deal with the wound, the fleshly wound on my leg, it's just going to get infected.
Mhm.
If we don't deal with heart issues, things that have caused us trauma, or even how to recognize trauma triggers, it just gets infected and we wonder, well, I don't know why my daughter is like that. Well, mom,
Mhm.
it
Oh, yeah.
just trickled down.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why my son is acting like that. It is because if it is not cleansed, it will just become infected.
Oh, yeah. And now do you also offer, like, because that just brought something to my mind for mother-daughters? So if there's mother-daughter,
Right.
healing that needs to happen, do you offer that kind of session?
Well, yes, under two hats. So, LaShonda, I wear a couple of different hats.
Okay.
I do have a doctorate in counseling, but I'm also a licensed ordained minister.
Okay.
So I kind of do some counseling on the side of when it comes to family dynamic of bringing two people in who are walking under a faith-based umbrella.
Okay.
So intimate altar wellness is open to all.
Mhm.
Women all can come through the door. My other hat, if there are some women who are faith-based and who would like to really discuss this, I kind of merge the two together.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so that it's a different hat. Actually, the one that I enjoy the most, I get excited when the guests come back and they say, I showed my mom this, or I showed my husband this. Oh my goodness, we figured out these triggers. Why?
Mhm.
Conversations about mental health wellness are happening across the dinner table.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
that is what I wanted.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
I'm qualified to run a facility of some sort. I didn't want to run a facility because that would make it about diagnoses,
Mhm.
illnesses, different things like that. I wanted to launch a wellness program where they could learn about mental health,
Okay.
learn about their triggers. Are you fawn, freeze, flight, right?
Mhm.
Learn about what when something happens in my social awareness, why does that disturb me? And
Mhm.
if you know those things, it's preventive.
Right.
It's
That's good.
preventive.
Mhm.
We are the step right before you have to go and decide why I don't want your life insurance tagged with depression. It follows
Right.
you.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't want your life insurance to be higher. This medical record that's following you around that's tagged with anxiety,
Mhm.
depression, steps that come after that if it's unresolved. If we can stop it before it happens,
Yeah.
I think that's the smarter thing to
Yeah,
do.
I agree. I agree. You are definitely needed, and we definitely, truly, truly appreciate you doing what you're doing. I've heard someone say you haven't made it, or you're not successful until you'll do what you're doing without getting paid or rewarded for it. So I think that speaks volumes, and that speaks definitely to you. And we greatly, greatly appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much. Nikita did give me the opportunity to let people know where they can donate
Mhm.
because all of us know some woman that may need this type of program ourselves or someone in our circle. And so to donate, you can actually go to intimatealtar.org. There's a little button at the top that says donate, and there's one kind of in the middle of the page. We're asking a couple different ways. Donate, of course, financially. Fundraise for us. Contact the office. We'll give you all the supplies and stuff that you need to run a fundraiser for us. And then the last thing would be to purchase an affirmation lip gloss from our hergroove.com. And we take the money from the affirmations and we donate it to the center. So I'd love to speak more about that if you ladies would have me back at another time.
Absolutely. We will definitely have you back. This was a good time to have you on because we just wrapped up Women's Month. So this was a great way to just say, you know, it's okay. And you can do this. You are a woman and you are strong and you are powerful. And there are people out here that are open and willing to help you sort through some things. This is awesome.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I guess we're gonna go into our next topic. What is our next topic?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We are.
Listen, so one of the things, and thank you so much, Dr. Sherman. I didn't your words are powerful. You definitely have, I mean, I love it. I love to hear you talk all the time. I love to speak. I do, because it's just so calming, you know, even when you're listening to it, and then the passion that you have when it comes to helping. So we're going to move into our off topic. Y'all know we always have an off topic, and we kind of had two, right? Because we just kind of left it alone. Did we have two, Shonda? We had one talking about Angel Reese, right? And then I wanted to talk about what did I want? Oh,
you forgot.
PTO. No, because I'm not feeling too good today, right? So I got this cold, you know, and I'm like, okay, as much as I want to retreat in my room, you can't retreat in your room when you got responsibilities. You have some things that, you know, you have to take care of. Sometimes you have to just, we're not working a corporate job, so we can call out and say, hey,
you use my time off.
Go ahead and put me down for some paid time off, okay? You don't get paid when you take time off and you're an entrepreneur, okay?
Oh my God, that is so for real. I actually just sat down with one of my coaches last week, and she had me pretty much write down like my expenses, and she even got as detailed as how much it's costing me per day, like to be in business. And I'm like, oh, so it costs me that much to be in business? Like I can just have conversations that's not making me money. So it just really made me think about, okay, the time that I spend doing non-money making activities. I'm like, okay, I got to kind of tone that down just a little bit.
Just a little bit. That's why I said, you know what? We have to do what we got to do, you know. And I'm all on board with that. Whenever you are an entrepreneur, though, you still want to take time off, just like we have Dr. Sherman here to talk about mental health, wellness, and also just in general taking care of yourself as well. It's okay to do those things too, but there are times where you can't really just be like, I can take off, because you do have responsibility that you do need to make sure that you get through, and you don't get paid time off when you do take that time off. So I am thankful for being able to have this I guess you could say flexibility, right? Because, you know, we can take time off sometimes when we just want to take time off, or we can make our schedule the way we want to take. So there are pros and cons to entrepreneurship, you know, and some of the, you know, pros are you have that flexibility. Some of the cons are, listen, when you're sick, you don't get paid time off. You can take the time off if you want to, but you're not going to get paid. Okay. And if you do, like in my situation, I have applications coming through left and right. I have responsibility. I have a podcast. I got all types of these other things that I'm working on. And sometimes you can't just say, hey, I'm going to lay in bed all day and just not do anything, you know? And that's because you do have a responsibility. But what I do, I always pray, like, Lord, give me the strength to get through this day. And then I'll try to plan, when can I actually take that time, take some moment, because clearly my body is trying to tell me, like, you need to kind of relax a little bit. You know what I mean? And so always be willing to listen to those things, but you don't get no paid time off. Okay.
Which is why it's important to have people like Dr. Sherman in your corner to help you and provide tools for you to know how do I know when I've reached like a certain level of stress or anxiety, or and what do I do to bring it back down to a normal level or, things like that. It's really important because sometimes we don't know when we're about to explode until we've exploded.
Yes.
But
you guys have said so much. I don't even know. I'm just like, let me add that.
I see you over there too. I see you like, let me go ahead, Dr. Sherman. We for it. Go ahead, Dr. Sherman.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm just always just so many things that where we say we don't have the time, or we've got all these different things that we have to do. And, one of the things I always talk about is there's 24 hours in a day. And, we say we don't have 5 minutes to do something that we say is so important to us. But one of the exercises that I do with the ladies that come to the center is I run this self-care assessment, and the assessment is only built around air, water, basic things, walk, just sleep, rest. And it gives a factor at the end of the assessment from 0 to 100. And most women, are averaging about 35 to 40% of taking care of themselves.
Wow.
Some under 30%. And I always say, if your phone was on 25%, what would you do? Oh, I'd go plug it in. I can't be without my phone. I can't do this. I can't do that. And I'm just thinking, like, if your phone was blinking, and saying, you would immediately, you would stop and run into the nearest QT, 7-Eleven, and get one of those little pocketbook, because you are not getting ready to let this phone shut off. But we will not take that same attitude about our bodies and our mental health until we are completely exhausted, completely without reserve, until we do something totally out of character and integrity, and it is exposed to everybody that we are now a hot mess.
Yep. And then we got to retract, apologize, and now we're in a whole different situation. It's just like, oh, how did I get here?
Yes. And we have lost time, money, precious relationships because we will not take that time to plug in. And no, we're not getting paid time off, but some things are so much more valuable than that money.
Agreed.
You know what? You're not gonna pay me. I don't even care. Mental health day.
I'll do, and I literally have on my signature, if I'm seriously going to take off, I have a out of the office reply that says, I've taken time off. I'll respond to you when I return on this day. If it's important, here's what you can do or whatever. And this one lady, she was like, oh my God, this is so awesome. And it's just so many people don't think about that, and they think I gotta work. If I don't work, and I don't eat. Yeah, that's true. But you got to be mentally together in order to be able to function properly.
And here is my debunk when I hear that. If I don't work, I don't eat. Taking your mental health and taking your self-care is working. I'm working on me.
Oh yeah.
We have to change the mindset behind what we are saying is work and what is not work. Me taking time out to care for me, to do self-care, to care for my mind so that I can be a better individual. I can complete the purpose and destiny and calls on our lives is work.
Come on, Dr. Sherman.
It takes work to do that. So we got to change that mentality. When people say, well, if I don't work, I don't eat. That is work.
Yeah.
That's
self-work. That's inner work.
50 minutes you're taking is work.
It's work.
You're doing the work of making sure that you are remaining calm, that you are able to assess, you emotionally intelligent. LaShonda and Nikita knows this part. I tell the clients, there's nothing sexier than emotional intelligence.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Understand your emotions, discuss them, dialogue about them. It's nothing sexier. See, we try to dress all sexy and all of that, but a woman who can talk with intelligence about her emotion and her mind without being all over the place. What do you want to eat tonight? I don't know. Where do you want to go? I don't know. What do you want to? I don't know. IDK. But a woman who can sit and have a mature dialogue. Beautiful inside out. I call it cute inside.
Ooh, talk smart to me. Talk smart. But know, that really is so important. I've learned over the years how to set my boundaries, not feel bad for that boundary, and because I set it for a reason. And being able to take that, regardless if I took it last week or whatever, if I feel like I need it, whether it's retail therapy or just going for a spa date, whatever it is, not feeling bad for taking that time away.
That's right.
Whatever is meant for me as far as business wise, it's going to be there when I return. If it wasn't meant for me, then it, God is going to replace it with what was, and I'm good with that.
Yes. One of the things that I ask, because I like to bring stuff close to home. Let's get real about this. Oh, Dr. Sherman, I don't have time. And I say, oh, do you have time to tuck little Johnny into bed? That's your little Peanut, right? That's your little, yeah, that's my baby. If you don't take care of yourself, God's gonna call you home, or that body is gonna get sick, and somebody else is gonna be taking little Johnny in bed. Oh, and it gets deeper. Do you love your husband? Yes. Do you and you don't have time to take care of you? Well, guess what? That body is gonna give out, and some other chick is gonna be taking care of your boo and your booski and all that, because you're not going to be around to do it. Right? Our bodies can only take so much. Make time to take care of yourself so that you can go on this mental health wellness journey. And that's the truth of it. I don't care how many songs they write about Superwoman and I got an S on my chest. I like them, okay? I like the songs.
Let's be real.
But trust me.
Right.
If you cut me, I bleed. I gotta take care of myself. We have to do it.
Yes.
And that's why I applaud Reese. Because that's something I wanted to touch on, because a lot of people were just saying all this negative stuff about her, or just had something not nice to say about how she reacted to her success in LSU winning, their championship. And it's like, I was having a conversation, and when she was doing this or whatever, people were like, oh, that wasn't, but then the other player did the same thing, and they're like, oh, but she did it differently. It doesn't matter. They both did the same thing, but I applaud her for keeping her emotions in check, where she didn't take it, to another level, or she's not like lashing out at the way people are responding. Because I'm like, how do you tell somebody how to respond to somebody, doing something to them or to somebody else, whether it was directed to her or somebody? Like, if you do it, don't tell me how to respond. I'm going to respond how I feel fit. And I didn't see anything wrong with the way that she responded. And I applaud her for that.
It's basketball. It's a competitive sport. At the end of the day, they do it because they're women versus men. We do it all day long. So why in the world, since it's on the opposite end, now y'all want to be like, oh, she doesn't have good. See what I'm talking about? That's
you took the words right out of my mouth. If a male player had done that, we would not be having this conversation.
We would be having the conversation.
No, it's just still kind of this dialogue. Well, what is appropriate for women and not appropriate for men? And I mean, oh my goodness, it just opens up cans of worms. But we need to have good dialogue, conversations about it. We need to have therapeutic conversations about it, where it is not so saturated with heavy opinion. But the expertise of talking about things from a mature eyesight and mature mindsets, and looking at this and just telling the good, bad, and the ugly. Come on. Women have been underrepresented.
That's for
sure. In a lot of markets, in a lot of genres. We just have to say that and start healing it.
That's true. And it's like this person can do this, but because they did it, like that analogy where the person that throws a rock and hides it, I'm like, well, what did I do? No, let's talk about what it was, and let's keep it pushing. It really bothered me how they made it such a different dynamic because of the way, each player did it. I'm like, it's the same thing. One person was probably just looked at it.
Every now and then we find ourselves looking at a person who may not ask for that exposure or that call. She is playing basketball and she hasn't asked for all of this exposure that is being upon her right now. And my prayer for her was that she had good representation, that would guide her through this, because sometimes in life we're given this spotlight moment.
And we're not
and what we choose to do with that spotlight moment can alter and change dynamics, thoughts, precepts, and concepts about the way people look at things. And, we don't ask for a lot of times, but our story is our story.
Yeah.
I didn't ask necessarily to have exposure in different areas of my life, but my background growing up in a piece of trailer in Mississippi, right? Or, now helps me to have the powerful testimony to share with other people that you don't have to give up. And so now it's her season, right? Spotlight's on her, and I pray that she has great representation and people who are surrounding her to help her use her powerful voice, not diminish it,
right?
But use it to chart a course of action.
Yeah, and that's what I said. I'm sure they're gonna partner her or connect her with somebody who can maybe help her, help her understand what's a good time to do what and how to address or how to respond to certain things a certain way. I'm like, she's young right now. You can't expect her to have it already know what to do. Right now, this is her first time being at this level. Let her enjoy it, and then let's get her what she needs, if she needs to correct anything in any way. But
and LaShonda and Nikita, if they are coming with her toning down her voice, it's the wrong. She's the wrong generation for that.
Yeah,
this generation is going to be very vocal. They are going to be very well spoken about their story and how they feel, and it is because they are trying to shatter what happened before them. My generation, our generation, while we were plowing, we still had to be a little reserved about what said. We're trying to get in rooms, and once we get in the room, we were told to be quiet. When you get in the room, be quiet. Now their generation is, we're in the rooms, we are not getting ready to be quiet, and we are going to say what needs to be said. We look at that sometimes and say, you shouldn't do that. They let you in the room. And we've got to be able to merge with the younger and the older and bring in the wisdom and the experience, their knowledge of what's happening in this generation, and make this pie be really flavorful, especially as women who are able to say, I can give you this experience. You come with the energy, and let's make this whole thing synergize and work. And that's the conversation that we definitely need to have as women.
Well, we definitely like to have you back. Again, this is definitely something that's important for our community. So hopefully you'll be gracious enough to say yes again.
I would love to come.
It was really good. Did we have anything else?
Well, I did want to recognize and spotlight a small business.
Yay.
I do try to support as many small Black businesses as I can, but I mean, all small businesses, but Jeweled by Jackie, I don't have her logo here, but she does things like she does earrings, these little button earrings. These are two separate types of earrings. And then she has a little hoop puffy earrings here. She also does like the brooches. I've bought so many brooches from her. I'm like, girl, you about to get me in trouble. So she has like the Chanel. I have a Gucci one. Another Chanel. I just love the colors. It just screams.
That is pretty. I really like that one.
Yeah, I love that. And then a nice little Louis one. Now they're not real, but
I mean, they are.
I love a good fashion jewelry piece.
Right.
But it's Jeweled by Jackie. You can find her on Facebook, Jeweled by Jackie, or Jackie the Model Stevenson. She has so many amazing products. I believe she also does have some t-shirt attire, hats, and other apparel. So just check her out, look her up on Facebook, and let's support her small business.
Wonderful.
Absolutely.
I love it.
But other than that, that's all we had. This was a really good.
I mean, listen,
episode.
And these episodes, been season 2, honey, is giving life. Okay,
come on.
This season, okay, we're talking about all things. Okay, so you want to take us out, Shonda?
Absolutely. Let's just make sure it's a good thing that we have Dr. Sherman here to kind of bring this all home. But we want to make sure that we're empowering each other.
Yes.
Embracing your true self.
And evolve on your journey. We love y'all. Peace out.